Here's an easy trivia question for you. What do you get when you take grapes and a whole lot of sunshine? Well, you get raisins, of course. And with their convenience and versatility, it's easy to see why some say that raisins are the perfect 21st century snack. And while they may have a point, raisins are also one of the oldest foods around too, first mentioned in biblical times. Many think they were discovered by accident when grapes were left to dry on a vine. And centuries later, surprisingly, not much has changed in how raisins are produced. Take some grapes, add some sunshine, and presto, you got raisins. Ah, but if it were only that easy. In fact, making raisins is no simple task. At farms like Steve Spate's near Selma in the Central Valley, harvesting raisins is a well-orchestrated dance.
The crew comes through and cuts the grapes off the vine, puts them into a pan with about 18 to 20 pounds of grapes on a good tray. And they put those onto a thin sheet of paper, laying down like you see down the middle of the row. And in approximately 10 days under good weather conditions, 10 to 14, we'll come back and roll those trays into either a biscuit roll or what we call a flop roll.
If it sounds like a lot of work, it is. And Steve is just one of the nearly 3,500 raisin growers in the San Joaquin Valley that produce all of the United States raisins and almost half of the world's crop as well. Steve is a fourth-generation raisin farmer, so he's seen quite a few harvests in his time and loves to talk about raisins. But just don't mention another R word around him during harvest season when his entire crop is just laying out in the open. You know that R word that is weather-related? Rain.
No, we don't like to talk about the R word right now.
Don't
joke about it. No, don't talk about the clouds that might roll in over the hills. That's the thing. We live in a bowl, valley bowl here, that a wind current changes and all of a sudden we have a rain threat that comes in.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Makes life interesting.
Yeah, that's what you want to call it.
I was trying to be positive. While harvest time is their most intensive and yes, interesting time of year, Steve and his son look after their 200 acres of vineyards all year round, ensuring the vines will produce a hearty and healthy crop when it comes time. They're constantly measuring the sweetness level of the fruit because grapes don't ripen after harvest. What you see is what you get with this crop.
It's the most natural product. I mean, we don't put anything on these grapes except dry them in the sun. We pull them off when they're at the optimum sugar. We dry them in these rows, and they're just quality. It's quality sugar. It's just the sweetness.
Although making raisins the old-fashioned way, like Steve does, is a tried and true method, it is also very labor-intensive. So some farmers have gone another route by actually letting the grapes dry on the vine and then harvesting the raisins by machine, which I got a front row seat to.
What you see here, these are called bow rods, and when he starts, they will beat the grapes off. They fall into these plates that fall into these buckets. The buckets will be turning. The buckets dump the grapes onto a belt. The belt then transfers it over into this hopper. And that hopper carries the large paper, the continuous tray we call it, and then you'll get about 2 to 3 berries thick as a layer when they take off.
No matter how the raisins are harvested, inevitably they end up at places like this, the nearby Carruthers Raisin Packing Company, where workers carefully inspect the raisins throughout the entire process. In fact, they even have USDA inspectors on site every day to ensure the raisins meet industry standards.
They monitor the fruit quality all the way through. In today's market, you know, everybody is so concerned about fruit safety, and so that's very comforting to our customers.
After inspection, the stems are removed and then the raisins are cleaned using large vacuums, graters, and shakers to remove any foreign matter. Then they are washed using fresh water, which ultimately rehydrates them and plumps them up before they're packaged and shipped to a grocery store near us. And while it is a long and circuitous route from tray to table for raisins, it's all worth it in the end for those involved with them. And they're hoping people's love for raisins won't shrivel up anytime soon.
They're happy every time you mention raisins. You know, there's a smile on their face. And so it makes it easy to sell.